Go, Beth.
Okay. This is my 1950s version of Romeo and Juliet. And it's about a teen boy called Felix, and he's from the 1950s. And there's a girl called Amelia, and she's from the future in 2050.
Right.
And they fall in love through time travel, and but there's obviously like lots of problems. And the girl in 2050 is the one that discovers time travel and travels in time back to him. Yes. And it's set in Arizona. Well, part of it's set for the 1950s bit, it's set in Arizona, and then for the future bit, it's also set in Arizona as well. And it's at the same high school called Sunnyside, and so it's like at the same, like the high school is built in the 1950s, and then it's all like set in the same high school but in different time zones. Yes. Clothing. Felix is like a mix of like a teddy boy. He's quite like a nerdy teddy boy in the 1950s, and Amelia uses like futuristic clothing. So there's like machines that can make your own clothing of your choice, and it's quite minimalistic, so it's quite like plain and futuristic. The language, well, in the 1950s they used a lot of slang. So like for instance, ain't that bite means that's too bad. And then in the futuristic language is more like formal. Yeah. My target audience is mostly women aged 16 to 25 years, because I think that they would relate to it more and sympathise with the characters. And yeah, and they know what young love feels like. And yeah, I think it would intrigue them, because I think a lot of people are fascinated by the 1950s. So I think it would be quite interesting. And that is the end.
Okay. Firstly, what are you trying to get across?
What am I trying to get across?
Yeah, what's your kind of message? What are you kind of trying to get across here? What's the purpose of putting this play on?
Because it shows that if you really, really love someone, then it will work somehow, even if it's incredibly tough.
Don't they both die?
Yeah, but...
So isn't that sort of contrary to the, if you really, really love someone, it'll work out?
Well, it does work out, but it doesn't in the end.
So it doesn't work out?
Okay, it doesn't work out.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm asking you, it's your version.
Well, it does, but it's like a happy, sad ending.
Why is it happy?
Because they die together.
Oh, right, okay, that's lovely.
But
everybody living the dream, or not. That's the case, maybe.
No, but they're like elderly, so
right.
They're meant to die together.
Okay.
It happens.
So why, if we're changing it that much, why are we using Romeo and Juliet? Why not just write an original story about a time travel?
Because if we use Romeo and Juliet, then more people will recognise it, and it's quite popular. So I think.
So what? So what?
What?
So what?
So.
I mean, Star Wars is popular, but you're not using that.
Yeah, but Romeo and Juliet is quite. I don't know. I think a lot of people enjoy it and like the storyline.
So yeah, but you're changing it all.
I think they would like this storyline.
Okay, why?
Because.
So why do you want them to like it?
Because.
What are you trying to achieve is what I'm trying to get at.
Well, I want a lot of people to understand them. Like, a lot of people are intrigued by the 1950s, but they don't understand it that much.
Right.
And this sort of explains it more. And, yeah, you get to see a lot more like what the 1950s was like.
Okay. So why didn't you have somebody go back in time from now? Because then we can, we can really associate with that person instead of someone from 50, or 35 years in the future.
Because I think then it's got like two really interesting like sides to it, 'cause it's like all the way back in the 1950s and then all the way in the future, which we don't really know a lot about.
Or there's two things that that basically distract from the other thing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that
So
be a
it's
bad
like
thing?
completely different.
But is that the aim? The aim is just be different.
Well, no, it's just. I think a lot of people would be interested in it. Like,
Sure. So you're trying to make money. Is that what you're trying to do?
yeah.
You sure? You don't look very confident. If that's the objective, then fine. That's one reason.
Mm.
So you're trying to make money.
I guess so.
I know. I'm asking you. Don't
Yeah.
guess so. I need to know. All right. So that's your purpose. Your purpose for putting this show on is you want to make money, so you're doing it like that.
Right.
Okay. So what about casting then?
Who would I cast?
Yeah.
Or?
How are you going to present this? Is it going to be you're going to have big name actors, try and draw in more people, or are you going to try and keep the budget down to make more money? How are you going to play this?
I would definitely use someone, like at least one actor that's famous, that a lot of people like and admire.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. Well,
So-
I'll probably have the girl as a famous actress, and then the like two main characters famous actors.
Okay. So that means you're going to have to do this as a big. It's going to have to be a very big show, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you want to do. Okay. Okay. Right. So, why do you think it's important to tell people about the 1950s?
Well, not important, but I think, I don't know, because a lot of people are intrigued by it. I think that if they know more about it, they'll like really like it even
Do
more.
you think it's because it's quite exotic or something different?
Yeah, it's different. Like the clothing, the music, and like just the cars, and how everything was.
Okay. How does that relate to the original performance?
Well, it's completely different.
So
No.
why use Romeo and Juliet?
Because I don't know, because it's popular. But I don't
Say
understand.
it again. So's the Marvel universe, but you're not doing that. Why are you doing Romeo and Juliet?
Because there's a majority of people like love the genre of romance.
Okay. Well, you mentioned earlier about the language. You were going to change some of the language to 1950s language. Obviously, you've been there in the 1950s. And you say that that's like Baz Luhrmann's, but Baz Luhrmann used the original Shakespearean language in his film. So why is it like Baz Luhrmann's?
That is a mistake I made in the presentation.
Okay, so do you want to expand on it? And on the language and how it's different and why?
Well, for 2050, obviously we don't know what the language is going to be like.
Nope.
But I sort of researched it a bit just to see if anyone had any clues as to what they think it would be like. And they said they think it would be very formal and like more formal than it is now.
Right.
Like completely different. But, yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Anything else you want to add?